Okay, so I am Cosmic the Dolphin, going for a sub 24 next Penelope speedrun. So first off, I can skip cutscenes, which is very handy.
Get ready.
Saves a little bit of time.
3, 2, 1.
So this game has a lot of skips and it's very fast paced, which makes it nice. And also immediately I'll explain a little bit about the controls. Your ship accelerates automatically. There is no direct control over how fast you're accelerating, and you can't brake either. You just go forward at a set speed. However, I can manipulate my speed by, instead of doing a full turn, buffering the turns as I'm doing, which keeps more speed. Also, that is a skip right there. You're not supposed to be able to make that jump that direction. You're supposed to jump straight, but we can jump, do a turn jump, and go to a later portion of the track and save about 20 seconds. This game has many small skips and optimizations like that, and some larger skips that save several minutes. So first, this game's also very similar to, say, the F-Zero games, while also having the top-down perspective like Micro Machine games. In that, you get abilities, such as, for example, the boost here, that takes out my energy. Also, it is a futuristic racer. So the game's storyline is a futuristic retelling of Homer's Odyssey. Except this time we're playing as Homer's wife, Penelope. I don't know. Odysseus' wife.
Get ready.
This is the first race. You can visit the planets in any order, which is very handy, except for the intro planet. The intro planet always has to be done first, and most planets go with a challenge to teach you an ability. So, for example, this first planet taught us how to drive, then a 5-lap race, and then a boss fight. This planet goes with, a challenge to teach you how to drive, a challenge to teach you how to use the booster, and a 5-lap race. But we'll get to the end of this race before the 3-minute mark is up. Hopefully. Should be able to, no problem. This is a very short track.
Congratulations.
So there we go. Before the 3-minute mark, we're already out of the intro world. So about the 6-minute mark, we will be going to our first challenge, boss. And bosses are generally very broken in this game. So now this route is getting the vampire mines first. There's a route that gets them first and a route that gets them last. There's not any real time difference, but the mines first is a much easier route. And mines last can make a good donation incentive. So the mines take a little bit of health to lay down, but they get a lot of health back when they blow up. So a lot of racers are going to be spawning in the middle of that straightaway at the start. So I laid down 5 in there to get back most of my health very quickly. Unfortunately, I don't have all of my health back yet, but there we go. So that challenge is very easy. Just by laying a bunch of the straightaway at the start, you get your health back quickly. So the point of that challenge is to get your health back up to full.
2, 1.
By using the mines. So this race has no place to refill my health, so like the green zones earlier, refill your health. There's no place to refill your health in this race, so I'll want to turbo as much as possible. Use the boost power as much as possible, because boosting is fast. So to do that, to have enough energy to do that, I'm going to have to use the mines constantly. So I know for a fact that the enemy racers are going to come down straight down that straightaway. So I lay down a bunch of mines there to get a bunch of health back. Again, here, I know racers are going to come through that straightaway. So I get my health back there. And immediately they start going off. So basically, I'm going to keep using that tactic to keep my health up at a high level, so that I could boost often and not have to worry about my energy. Also, I thought I was going to be able to get a mine directly in front of that guy I passed, and instead I placed twice and misaimed both times. So running over your own mine does a lot of damage to you, so I'm going to have to be very careful and make sure that I don't hit anything that doesn't get blown up. So I have to keep a mental note of where I laid every mine as I race, just in case one does not get blown up. I usually have all of them blow up, but
This is the last lap.
if it doesn't, I've just got to be careful. You can kind of see that the screen's always shaking because we're always going fast and things are always happening. So it's kind of a cool game in that aspect. Very flashy, very bright, very exciting. So we're right at about the 6-minute mark and we get to the first boss fight of this game. So earlier I also unlocked the plasma gun, but the plasma gun has no use except for on boss fights, so I haven't used it till now. So every shot I do does damage to me. And that's that boss fight done. About 15 to 20 seconds is as long as that boss fight should last. So the strats that I use there, I'll explain here in a second, but I'm getting ready to do a very large skip that saves about 2 minutes right now. But like I said, the plasma gun, every single shot I take, takes away health. Mines take a little bit of health in place, but they get a lot of health back. And now, by going to this world, I'm unlocking the teleport power-up. Well, that's a shame. That takes a little bit of health to use, but
Congratulations.
can be used to really get anywhere on the track. So that was supposed to be about a 2-minute race, and since there's no checkpoints in that track, we could just teleport basically right to the end.
3, 2, 1.
Now what I did on the last boss fight was that I shot him with the plasma gun as I was approaching them. The plasma gun does a fair amount of damage. Our next power-up that will get the harpoon does even more damage, and we'll use the fact that we can shoot the harpoon and the plasma gun at the same time to really destroy some later boss fights. But also, I drove inside the boss's hitbox, so I was tanking damage as I did that. But you can lay mines as fast as you can mash, so as a result, I was able to do a lot of damage to the boss without really being in any danger myself, because I was getting health back constantly from mines blowing up as soon as they were planted, which made that boss fight go very fast. So what I'm doing here is this track has a lot of invisible checkpoints to actually check if you're actually completing a lap. I'm basically teleporting from checkpoint to checkpoint. So, and therefore really skipping most of the race. So we'll just have laps 4 and 5 now to complete, and we'll just rinse and repeat the technique for every lap. It is possible to get into the target zone without hitting the boost pad, but the boost pad needs to be cooperating with you. Also, those pink zones do kill you instantly if you touch them, so I have to be careful for that. But this race goes a good bit faster than normal using these teleport strats. This game is on Steam. There's also a Wii U version going to be coming out soon, but I played the game on Steam. And there's that boss fight completed. I mean, not that race. Now we're starting another boss fight, and this boss fight also has quick strats on it to kill it quickly. By a very specific teleport, I will actually manipulate what attack he's going to be doing next, which will increased the speed of the fight considerably, because he could do a pattern. He normally does a pattern that makes it almost impossible to hit him, but because of that teleport I just did, it prevented him from actually ever even going into that. And I kill him very quickly. I might have been able to kill him without that second teleport there, but just for safety, since the pink does kill you instantly, you don't want to touch it. So, as I mentioned earlier, we can visit every planet in any order we want. So now we go to Aradine's desert. The first part of this is now we've unlocked the harpoon. The harpoon does damage to enemies, and it also grabs objects that are far away. So the first thing I have to do is grab a bunch of bugs that are in random positions here. They're always in the same general location, but where exactly is random? Well. That one was being quite annoying. They dart around pretty quickly, yeah, the harpoon can get a little taking used to get a good one in, but the bugs are being nice now. I just have to really follow the arrow. And I've only got one bug left to collect. There it is.
Congratulations.
So you might have noticed that I'm getting experience points after every challenge or race. That does play a big part in this run. I need to get 600 experience points by a very specific part of the run. However, with the route that I'm currently using, by getting the mines first, I'll have 800 experience points at least by the time that that challenge comes up. So it's not really an issue, but in the other route, the mines last route, which is much more challenging, but a similar amount of time to complete, it, because as I mentioned, you can visit any planet in any order, and therefore get any upgrade at any time you want. It actually gets very close how many experience points you have at that point, so anyway, using the mine techniques again to get, our health back so I could boost so often through here. Those mines might not want to go off. I'm going to have to be careful. Okay, some are going off. Although those weren't... Oh man, will you quit it? Passing by other racers can be challenging. So that one didn't go off, but the other ones did. I have to be careful because mines do a lot of damage to me if I hit my own mine. So you're always living on the edge. So if you misplace a mine, you have to be very careful. You have to think about what you're doing at all times to make sure that really you don't kill yourself and still have enough energy to complete a race fast. So the mines first is a little bit more safe here because because energy is not as difficult to get now. On a mines last route, I would have to be completing this race without using the mines to get energy back, which makes it much more difficult to complete. Now we get to the Larva boss, which is a very difficult boss fight to do fast. So I need to pull off its defense here. Unfortunately, I've got it in a bit of a bad pattern. I'm going to turn around here and grab there. And so the harpoon does a lot of damage to this boss, as does getting shots. However, to get hits on it, you have to get very close to the boss, like so. However, if I touch the boss, it will do so much damage to me that I would not be able to finish the fight afterwards. Since every shot I take takes away my health, I cannot get hit to be able to do that tactic that I just did there to kill it so quickly. So it's a very dangerous fight. However, I've done that boss fight hundreds of times at this point, and it's, at this point, just second nature to me to do this. Now we go to Archeron's Vapors, which this world is based around actually completing challenging tracks and driving them, not actually racing against other AIs per se. It has a big skip in it. 2 big skips that I'll actually be doing, and that was the first one right there. You see, this track is supposed to have a death pit as soon as you drive off the edge, but it turns out that the death animation doesn't start until a few frames after you've actually driven off the edge. So, where the track comes close enough together, you can actually drive off and drive onto a later part of the track without triggering the death animation. So I skipped over 3/4 of that last race, and I skipped over 3/4 of this race again, just with that last one. There is another skip like that in the next track. However, the next track usually causes massive amounts of lag on my current PC that I'm playing with, which as a result makes the skip impossible, because since it is just a few frames that you have to do it, if you get a single lag frame during the trick, it becomes impossible. So I am going to be doing this one intended, since this is a single segment attempt. You can already see the lag starting, and that's where the trick would normally be. However, this race is still very short. The point of this is just to get to the front of the pack, and with my turning techniques and sticking close to the edge, it actually influences my position to get closer to the front of the pack earlier than intended, actually, which makes this go very fast anyway, even without the skip, and loses at max 25 seconds. Maybe more like, maybe 30 seconds, but somewhere in the 25 to 30 second range is all the time that it loses. Now I'm going to use the experience points I've got to get an upgrade for my ship. The upgrade is Resilience. It costs 600 experience points to buy. What Resilience does is that it gives me an extra bar of health, which will make this skip that I'm going to do right now possible. You see, I have just unlocked the Black Crystal power-up now, which turns enemy shots into experience points. And it costs a lot of health to use. So the point of this race / challenge is just to get 100 experience points. But with the extra health, instead of actually completing the race, I can just sit here in front of this helicopter and tank all of his shots and turn every single one into experience points, and therefore skip 2 minutes of gameplay. That skip is not possible without getting the extra shield bar.
Get ready. 3, 2,
and that's why
1.
I need experience points at that specific point. Also, since I now have more health, later boss fights I will be able to do more shots on the bosses before I would die. This is also big, as it allows me to get on more shots onto the final boss before he goes into a very long cycle that would waste a minute of my time. But I can kill him now, since I have the extra health, before he even goes into that in about 30 seconds. So we'll use the fact that I've got extra health really at 2 spots instead of just 1.
Weapons activated.
So again, using the mines to build up my health without having to go anywhere on the track to refill my health and therefore save a bit of time. So just good use of the mines, really. I always want to boost through those waterfalls because they slow you down a lot. However, boosting through them gets me through that quick. Another 3 mines through that segment. And a little bit of health here. And some mines again. And my energy is back up high enough that I can keep boosting away. So, really, quite a nifty trick and you're just really always living on the edge of this run. The mines are just very OP, and a very good power-up in more ways than one. Also, a lot of the boss fights have safer strats that involve the mines to kill them, except they're slower. So there we go. Just enough health. And now we'll to the final lap. Since my energy's a little low, I'm going to go ahead and grab some energy here the intended way. Just a tad slower, not much. And since this is the last lap, I'm not going to be and I've got enough health, I'm not going to be worrying about mines now. I'm just going to race it out as intended. So, yep. Boosting through that. Good slowdown. And then,
congratulations.
Boom. And now we have the boss fight against Arachne. Arachne has a little bit of RNG where the boss will spawn. It spawned at the bad location for me, the slower location of the two that it can spawn in, but we can deal with it. Okay. So, unfortunately, I got hit there a few times and took some damage. You don't really have iframes in this game, so if you... Now it's spawned at the better location, so that's fine anyway. See, that's the better location, what will happen. Really get in on it. Since you really don't have iframes, if you get stuck in a bad situation, you'll just continually take damage until you just die. I literally did not have enough health left to even place down a mine, so I would have died no matter what. But this should be sub 24 pretty easily. So this is the second to last boss fight. This is the longest boss fight in the game. He has quite a bit of health, and I don't have enough health to shoot him dead. Even if I don't get hit a single time by any of his attacks, my health bar will be depleted before he is dead. Because every single shot I do, you know, takes health away from me. So I have to mine him there to get a bunch of health back. So really this fight is broken down into those two parts. That's why that boss fight is so long, by the way. You just cannot kill him before he shoots these spikes up. There is no RNG in where these spikes will spawn. They are in the exact same place every time. And there's that fight completed. And now to the Oddyseus Fight. So he's being nice, he's spawned in a good spot, and you can see this is his version of shooting. I'm now going to manipulate where he teleports. His teleporting would kill me instantly if he would touch me, but that's fine. I've got good health now, and I can shoot him dead very quickly before he would start his bad cycle that wastes so much of my time. And just keep on it. And there we go. Sub 24. And that's the game. And you can even skip the final cutscene. But I thank you for watching.